Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're done with Secret Invasion, which means that we're optimistic as fuck. I feel like a brand new person this week.
So do I, mate. It literally a weight has lifted, an MCU-related weight has lifted. We have surpassed 100 episodes. We're on a new path, mate. A new journey.
New journey. Before we go to the Marvels.
Before we go to
next time. And then we go back a little bit. But honestly, do you know what? Actually, I was thinking over the last week. I actually think Secret Invasion might be worse than the Marvels.
I agree. No, I absolutely agree.
I actually think... I think it's one of the worst. It's not quite to the level of She-Hulk, but it's not far away.
You could even go as far. Actually, and to be honest, I didn't like Secret Invasion at the same level as I didn't like She-Hulk. She-Hulk made me angry a little bit, but ironically. And the Secret Invasion series just kind of made me like, blech. Do you know what I mean? It just kind of made me go, what was the point of that? I've wasted time. Do you know what I mean? I'd sooner watch She-Hulk again than Secret Invasion, and that I think is saying something.
I wouldn't have said that the first time we watched Secret Invasion either, but the second time really showcased how awful a program that was.
Really problematic. It's in all honesty, for celebrating our 100th episode, which we did live last week. So thank you everybody that joined us then and came in with comments and stuff. But I think it was a shame it was Secret Invasion Part 2, but we're past it now. We're now moving on to something really exciting here.
Before we do, I want to give a shout out.
Oh,
I want to give a shout out, and and I have only just remembered this, so you know what's going to happen. I'm not going to find the thing that I'm hoping to find, but I'm going to. Here we go.
So you had it prepped. So you're ready to do this.
I knew I was going to do this. Before I did it, not wait. Do you know what I like? I like not doing is wasting people's time.
Absolutely.
Here we go. This is it. Right. So 5 days ago, and this was after Secret Invasion, something alerted on my phone, which brought me great joy. And it was a Spotify email to say someone has commented on your podcast. Now, have you read this, Matt? I might have sent it to you. Actually,
I can't remember, mate. So many things have happened in the last few days.
So, on our bonus episode of AI and the Willy Wonka experience, which I believe is when we got AI to write us a piece of script. And basically, someone called Keo Jones 5 days ago, they reviewed the episode and put, kicked out of a university library for laughing too hard. Never mind, work can be done tomorrow. Yeah.
Thanks, Keo, mate. I think I know Keo. Geez. I think if it's the Keo Jones, I think it is. I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Keo's been kicked out of university library.
That's
Listen
all
to
right.
our podcast. That's the strongest review we've had, and that tells you something, doesn't it?
That is brilliant.
But yeah, thank you for that feedback. Send us the feedback. Hopefully, after we've forgotten about the last 2 weeks of Secret Invasion, we're parking that, and we're going to have such fun this episode.
Joyous time. We're back. It's back. We're getting back in the saddle, mate. All right, so strap yourselves in, dear listener. Okay, because it's time. It's time for us to review. Say it for me.
Loki, Season 2.
Allah Sagar. Yes.
There we go.
What an introduction. I'm so prepared and so up for it. Whiskey's out tonight again.
Jesus Christ, on a Monday night.
Don't bloody stop me, Forrest.
Bloody
hell,
you
stop me.
Put out half a pint there, mate.
I have certainly put too much in that glass. This is going to get out of hand.
No, not an ice cube inside either. There's no watering that.
No, that is nothing but just like straight whiskey there. All right, boom, boom, boom. Lovely. Let's go in. Okay.
You don't even have a mixer with your whiskey, do you, mate?
No.
Not even a whiskey.
No.
Not even.
Why would you? Why would you? Spoils the taste.
Oh, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So you're full of whiskey. I'm full of fish and chips. Yes. Let's make love tonight.
All right. So this is exciting. So second watch for me. We did talk about this when it's first. So it came out sort of autumn, didn't it? 2023, last year. Yeah. We spoke about it in real time while we were reviewing things. Gave it our thoughts. This also coincided with when we were at MCM Comic Con in October last year, which we're gonna be at again this May 24th, 25th, 26th. So check us out there. We'll be there again. But mate, what a series! And honestly, I mean, again, going straight in now with overview thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Loki Series 2. It packs a punch. There is so much story to tell. It is not an easy story to tell. It's complex. It's timey-wimey. But they manage to focus it and center it around character development, which is what I speak about too much on this podcast when it comes to stories and making sure it's character centric. And that's one of my biggest kind of like critiques on Secret Invasion from last 2 weeks about it not just being, it wasn't character driven at all. It just felt like it was just convoluted into one thing. This has a lot playing into it, while it's also telling a story that's quite complex. And just some brilliant performances, man. Just some brilliant performances. So I'm really excited to delve into it. What are your thoughts?
I had a whale of a time with episodes 1 to 3. It was joyous from beginning to end. I had a great time with the characters. I enjoyed the fact that this is a complex, the story itself, the content of the story is complex because it's very scientific, but actually it is the unraveling of the story is nice and simple, and we don't have too many side plots all about the shot. We have a few, but we don't have too many, and we're also not introduced to too many new characters.
Exactly. And this is the thing. So this series came out on the 5th of October, 2023, which actually, Forrest, I don't know if you know, but did you know that this came out on the Thor's Day? So the Nordic day of Thor's Day is the 5th of October, which coincided with the release of Loki Series 2, which is something I didn't know.
Wow,
pretty cool.
And also, whilst we're talking about Thor, did you know that I did a quiz on Friday, which had a question about who is the person that guards the Bifrost? No, not the Bifrost. Guards. The answer was Heimdall.
Heimdall. Yeah, I was going to say Heimdall.
Yeah. And I was very excited. I saw it said mythology and it said Thor, and I was like, "Yo, this is."
And you got it right.
Shit.
You got it.
I got it wrong. I put Loki. No, I'm joking.
Which is exactly why we do this podcast. Yeah, Black Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's actually Obadiah's Thanos.
Batman. Right. Well, before we go straight in with episode 1, dear listener, you're part of this conversation. So, Loki Series 2 was a massive hit all round, with I don't know very many people at all that didn't like the series, but if you are one of those people, again, do let us know. Give us your comments whether you loved it, hated it, were a bit meh about it, give us an email. Don't be a hero podcast at gmail.com.
Oh my
or
God.
send us a message on the socials.
Hitting you already there, mate. Oh, look at him slurring his words.
Rapping wrong. I could make it on the account that I'm really tired, but no. Let's account it to my alcoholism. Yeah, cheers, Forrest.
I thought you'd been shopping, but no, it's just the bags under your ass.
Unbelievable.
Here we go. Oh, that's
on a Monday as well. It's a Monday, of course. What's wrong with that? On a Monday, is it illegal?
No, it's not. It's...
Your face, you're genuinely concerned there. You're like, no. Are you sure?
No. It's a lot of people seated in circles who say the same thing.
Oh, really?
In the world.
Sure, I'll find out.
They go to these meetings and they sit in circles. I don't know. I digress.
That's what I was at. I didn't know.
Oh god. Yeah, so Loki. So episode 1 of series 2, we kickstart right where we left off, which is Loki on TVA, in the TVA, and basically he's having a bit of hard time. He is a
little bit of a hard time, yeah.
A little bit of a hard time. He's doing the old time warp, aka time slipping. And he's slipping.
There's to the time walk again. That's what he's doing. Could you imagine if he's just doing like a dance for Rocky Horror? That would be
amazing. So he's time slipping, which he's going in the past, present, and future, but he keeps ending up at TVA. We get I think we got this at the end of the first series. It's like he asks Mobius, or he speaks to Mobius, and Mobius has no idea who he is. And I don't know about you, Matt, but even that kind of tugged on my heartstrings because
you kind of built that relationship up in the first series.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know who you are. Yeah,
and obviously I mean, we kind of knew when it happened in the end of the first series, it's not going to last long. They're hardly going to go through a whole series and not knowing each other. But I think, when you saw that, you didn't know how long that would last for. So, but
it's like,
boom.
I'd hate to think, for instance, I jumped onto this podcast right now. And I'd be like, hey, Forrest, man, how you doing? You're like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? And I'd be like, oh my God. Like, that genuinely worries me. It's a legit fear, having, just forgetting things like that and just not knowing who people, like those relationships you build. Sorry, I'm going to go, that's a little slight tangent, but do you know what I mean? I understand what you mean. Yes, moving on. Time slipping.
Yeah, time slipping. He goes, cool, we were getting in a completely different type of podcast there. What if one day you just forget everybody in your life? So he's time slipping all over the place, and basically
how Peter Parker feels though. Sorry, so I go straight in. Sorry, but that's happening to poor old Peter right now. Poor old Peter. He is old.
He is, and they've just, anyway. Yeah, we digress. What we digress
Sorry,
about?
mate.
We're never getting to the end of episode 1. So Loki reunites with Mobius, and basically he's warning Mobius of He Who Remains, and talking about He Who Remains, who is TVA creator, and then it kind of quite quickly we get this weird council meeting. I remember we spoke about this back when the series was being released, and it was about kind of general docs, and that was the only bit where we were suddenly thrust into a world with new characters in this weird council scene.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird introducing docs at that point. It felt like the writers, well, I'm assuming here, but I felt like the writers kind of were like, we need an antagonist. We're just We need we need more kind of like people against what's what the story is about, and learning about the truth of the TVA as well. But like what I love about the beginning moments, particularly, is that it starts straight off from what we left. So there's no like gaps. There's no kind of like pace drop at all. It's massive stakes. Immediately there, back with the characters. Loki full in spaghetti motion. It's all happening at the in that moment. Talking about that kind of sequence in the beginning as well. Now because this podcast, we like to talk about our supporting actors and the extras that are in the show. Oh, yeah. Which we'll talk to you about something later, about a very special interview that's Loki related to a certain character that was in the show, which we'll reveal later. But we've got the TVA driver that Loki kind of jumps out of the window, and the TVA driver's on the thing, and she like screams and stuff. Now, do you know, Chippy, do you notice that the woman in that car falls and dies? And Loki does absolutely nothing for it. He literally just got, you hear a scream. You're like, that TVA agent, like driver, whoever it is like, I'd say the equivalent of, a Hermes DPD, probably TVA person.
I mean, to be honest, if you saw a Hermes person fall to their death, you'd probably go, maybe I'll get my delivery in the next 6 weeks.
It's all right. There'll always be a replacement. It's fine. But yeah, just falls to a death. And I was like, okay, not going to be like, I'll save you. But to be honest, I think maybe that was a subtle reminder for us as the audience. The Loki isn't a hero. This is a villain story.
And funnily enough, Matt, you have just hit the nail on the head for what I was going to talk about at some point during this episode, which is what I've enjoyed about episodes 1 to 3. There are very, very subtle hints of bringing back the kind of selfishness of Loki, whether it's that instance or the kind of villain side to Loki. We should never ever forget with any Loki series, TV or film that he's involved in, that this guy is not 100% lovely. And also it's good that the writers don't take that away either. The worst thing you can do to a character is have them full kind 180 and they're just suddenly like the most beautiful person you've ever met. So it's still gonna be like, the foundations there that they built of being an arsehole, even if it's been grown on by loveliness.
Grown up. But I think it's like I think that's very deliberately placed, especially in these first 3 episodes, because you could argue that the first series of the Loki that we saw was this kind of hero development or hero arc, let's say, in Loki's journey. And I think it kind of doesn't get rid of it. There is this heroism about him, but it does remind us that he's not a complete hero. He's not your Steve Rogers, right? He's not going to save that screaming lady, off the car kind of thing. Like, he will just, focus on the objective that he's got, which is exactly what it does in that first episode. We meet OB, Ouroboros, which Mobius takes him to when he's revealing that he's time slipping to Mobius, and he goes straight in with it's the other thing, the first 30 minutes, the whole objectives of the whole series is set out. We get the temporal loom, we go into this, the where the extractor, where the temporal loom is, and all of that is literally played in front of us in those real time. We see almost like the climax of the show at the beginning, but in a different way, which again, I think that's really clever. I think that's what feels like it's deliberate as well. But yeah, it's such high stakes. It felt like it needed to drop, and it did. I think it did drop a little bit in like episode 2. But I think overall, this first episode, mate, it was banging.
It's bang. And we are introduced to arguably my favourite character of the series, straight off the bat even. And it is a bit of Obi.
Love him.
Big fan of Oberos. Quality character, really great actor whose name I cannot find right now.
Oberos.
Ouroboros. Ouroboros.
In a Scottish accent. Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. I have an old beer. Give me a name, please. Ouroboros. How you doing? I'm Loki. I can't do Scottish.
Loki. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sure.
Nailed it.
Ouroboros.
This is a Taika Waititi situation,
that is
isn't it?
That's not how it's spelled, though, is it? Ouroboros is how it's spelled. Aura. But anyway, Obi-Wan Kenobi is there, and it's a great first scene, and I quite like it because it uses time straight away. So Loki is informing Obi about the scenario and the potential fix in the past, and it informs how Obi thinks in the future. And I just love that. I really love that manipulation of time. Was a really fun element, and actually I think had it not have been that scene for Obi initially, then I don't know if Obi's character would have started as strong as it did. I think it was that fun little that fun element that kind of created that, I think.
It's it really sets the tone of the fact that the things that happened in the past, and if he changes that thing in the past, it will affect his future. Simple timey-wimey stuff that we all learned from Back to the Future, right? So I think that sets the tone really nicely, and obviously that we see those kind of things happen later on the series. But yeah, mate, the introduction of Obi was absolutely brilliant. We love him. He's an actor that's resurged his career in recent times from being in Indiana Jones. And he's just a joy, and it sets a different tone, because you could say, oh, it was really funny, it's really sweet, and you think that Mobius might have that, but it's such a different element within it. What I loved in that moment as well is that when Mobius and Obi have that first interaction, it's like, oh, where's the last time I saw you? When was it? Yeah, it was 400 years ago. It's like, oh my God. It really is, honestly, the TVA, you don't think about it, but yeah, of course it must have been all these times when's the last time I saw you? Oh, it's 400 years ago. Mental. Yeah. And being so perfectly fine about it. Bless you, Obi.
Where would you go in the world if you could visit the same place 400 years ago?
Oh my God.
Where would you go?
I'd go to, and this is very actory of me.
Jesus Christ,
I'd go to Stratford upon Avon.
Oh, would you now?
Yeah, see what's going on down there. Shakespeare times. Shaky wakey. How you doing, Bill? Writing a play? Can I be in it? I'll be in your Lord's Chamberlain, man. Ah, yeah.
That classic dialogue of the times. I didn't mean to play. I didn't mean to play. To me or not to me? That is a question.
You want to be? I didn't know William Shakespeare's really Italian. Hey, Amanda, would you like to be in this? Yeah, fantastic. I've written a play. It's called Romeo and Juliet. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I do. What would you do? What would you do?
I don't know. I asked the question. I've got no idea of my own answer, to be quite honest. But
it's a good question.
Where would be cool 400 years ago? What time frame would we be in? We'd be in the
go back 400 years.
16th century. So, no, that's ludicrous.
Yeah, 1624.
Yeah, bang. Quick maths. 1624. Probably I don't know. I'd go. Roam around the States for a bit, see what the Americans were up to. I think. Well, no, America what would America be like? Is that?
I don't
is that
think
before...
it was. I don't think America's that old, mate.
No, I don't think it. I was just what I was thinking. A century, right? America in the 1600s. Here we go.
Welcome
in
to
the early
Don't Be a Hero podcast, the history lesson.
Here we go. Let me read this. In the early 1600s, in rapid succession, the English began a colony, Jamestown, in Chesapeake Bay in 1607. The French built Quebec in 1608, and the Dutch began their interest in the region that became present-day New York. So there you go. I'll be walking around, seeing France build Quebec, chilling out with the Dutch building New York, just watching the world go by.
Amazing.
Sat on the bench. Anyway, that was exciting.
That was great. Oh, okay, great.
What about episode 2? Breaking Brad. That's the name. That's the name of episode 2.
Such a good thing. Oh, it's the King's Men performs William. Sorry, it's the King's Men. I swear it was Lord Chamberlain's Men. Anyway, sorry. Yes, Breaking Brad. Not Breaking Bad. That's a different show. So
this is.
I kind of, I'll be honest, and I think there's lots of comic. There's comic references to the film that he's in, which now is the name's just gone over my head. So, dear listeners, please fill me in with that. But he's a big time movie star. He's escaped. He's now living in the past. Living this new life as a massive Hollywood movie star. Which
Brad Wolf, I believe you're on about.
Yeah, Brad Wolf. Which Mobius and Loki track and find him as he was instructed by General Dox to get out of there. Find some timelines and get rid of them. Like that. Exactly like that. That was the line, verbatim. And what I love, mate, this first bit of the second episode, I've got to be honest, packs a flipping punch. The chase scene with Loki, it's just so good. When we have this bit where Mobius is chasing Brad, and then you feel like Brad's got away, and then through the dark enters Loki, looking flipping focused, fierce, villainous. He's got that villainous eye that we have not seen at all since the Avengers. And here he is chasing down, so like he's like James Bonding it as well. It felt like it was Tom Hiddleston's James Bond moment. And we all spoke about it when it first came out. But the moment where Brad gets trapped and we see the Loki horns appeared in the silhouette and they hold his arms, it's so good. Brilliant visuals. Seeing his eyes glow, using the whole duplication thing as well. Classic Loki-isms are played in the beginning part of that second episode. It draws you in. It draws you in.
And then we get quite a cool Brad interrogation scene. I think I had mixed feelings about that when I first saw it. It's a bit... kind of goes on for a bit too long, and I still kind of...
Is that in the holding cell that he's in?
That. Yeah, the holding cell, and they bring in that little device thing, don't they, and all sorts. Feels a bit long for me, but...
Why do you feel like it's too long?
I enjoyed it. I don't know. It felt like... I think because it felt like a long-running gag. It didn't really feel like we were going to get... It didn't feel like it was a plot device. It just felt like it was a gag, and I think that kind of ruined it. And because of the length of time, I was a bit like, okay, yeah, cool. They've got a funny device thing that can make them do different things, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I think it's brilliant. But yeah, that was small gripe.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think what I enjoyed in that scene was that it brought out again, not necessarily talking about the villainy side of Loki, but the focus, the seriousness, the weight of what he wants, and obviously who he's looking for. We're looking for Sylvie. Sylvie's the key in this, in terms of like fixing the timelines. Obviously she's still out there, and if she finds out that Kang is around, she's gonna get him. So we needed to find her as quickly as possible. So the weight of that situation, and obviously there's loads of like emotional baggage around finding Sylvie as well for Loki. So this kind of desperation from Loki comes out. And I loved it. Again, it was just another shade for this Loki character, another colour for Loki to play. And again, I feel like this is one of those scenes where we may feel like it went on for quite long, but I still, it against other things, if we're comparing it to, say, for instance, the Gravik and Nick Fury conversation at the end, they both gave, I would say, for instance, the Gravik and the Nick Fury thing were playing nothing but solid outward projection, exposition around emotions. This bit with the Loki and Brad had narrative, had story development, had motives that were played not just outwardly emotionally. It was more not sinister. It was more with weight. It was with more command. And again, I think if you're kind of comparing and contrasting the writing around here, it just felt like the Loki scene had just more going with it than, for instance, the Gravik and the Nick Fury bit, where they were just being, I'm being an angry person, you know? Yeah.
Sold it to me, mate.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
You've sold it, mate. I agreed. So we get that. We also get that Loki, Mobius and Wolf, they travel to Oklahoma and find Sylvie working in a McDonald's, and Loki kind of tells her of their encounter with the TVA future, and they want Sylvie to help them out, but Sylvie refuses to help. Now, on watching this again, what are your thoughts about the use of McDonald's in all of this?
I think it's a paycheck for Disney. That's what it was. It felt like.
And at the time, because I remember there being a McDonald's advert around this time, there's a big advert towards Loki, and I was like, okay, maybe they'll loop it in, and there was rumours that the guy that works there might be connected to the story, and there was all these kind of I suppose you could argue red herrings, but I was kind of a bit disappointed, really. I felt like it just felt like, on a second time, I feel like it's all a bit flat because there is no reason for it to be McDonald's. Could have been anywhere.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's because she wanted something that was simple. She was looking for a normal life and a normal thing to do on planet Earth. And what's the most normal day-to-day job that you could get? Working for McDonald's, right? It's, and I think that's probably why she kind of decided to work there. She just wanted to know how it felt like. Also, you get free food, it looks like, in terms of the food that she gets later on in the episodes and stuff. And she's trying to find something that's simple and predictable.
I'm going to take that point, and then I'm going to say, does Sylvie, and everything we know about Sylvie, does she seem like the kind of person who would opt for McDonald's over a local cafe?
Yeah, why wouldn't she? Why would she?
I find Sylvie quite independent, riotous, a bit I'm not going to go, I'm going to go against the grain. I feel like I should have gone, I'm going to support me independent, not go for a massive brand.
Right, okay. Well, okay, so let me add to this debate. I've just gone to Reddit, okay, and I've just put Sylvie and McDonald's, okay?
I'm glad we are looking up the important shit, Matt. It's about bloody time we had a podcast like this.
Why did she choose McDonald's? But to be perfectly honest, mate, this is a serious thread with nearly 60 comments, okay? There's a question. Sylvie, at the end of the day, is still a god. Why did she choose to work at McDonald's? Why not go to Asgard or something like that? Well, okay, that's what, her Asgard is gone, but she doesn't even go there. But what was so good about this fast food restaurant? And there are so many comments here, but there's one that's just really highlighted it for me. So Hazel Tazel from 684 says she's been on the run since she was a child. She was remedial. She wanted a remedial, safe, predictable life. Anyone would if they were her. She craved it. It's been 8 months, but I don't think it's going to last. Okay, so this is in real time at the time. She's a god. She can't just hang around in a town. Blah blah blah. She's immortal. and 100 years old. I'm not sure how she's going to get what she wants in the finale. Edit to add, as to why McDonald's, she just went to the first building she saw, realised it was full of friendly, happy people and safe food being served. So, and again, if that's her choice, that's also a massive marketing thing from like McDonald's. Happy Meals, it's a safe place for you to go and eat. You're going to have a good time, eating at McDonald's. It's all part of that IP for McDonald's. It's a good selling point, hence why it's on the show. Yeah,
I don't buy it, but thank you for your Reddit contribution there, Matt.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like she's a protester, mate. She's she's someone who would go to Glastonbury in a future life.
She does do a little bit. That's a little bit more trendy, doesn't she? Later on, she goes to these like vinyl shops, mate. And she's like, "Yo,
exactly." She's a vinyl person,
like a brooding teenager.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, let's go to the ends of the world, Loki. Let's acknowledge the hard times. Yeah, let's have a conversation with shit going on around us because I just don't care. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm an explorer. I'm me."
That tickled you, didn't it?
I did tickle me. That was ridiculous. But yes, so we have that. We'll move on a bit because we're still on episode 2. Sending Wolf back into custody, and they captured Docs, but Docs' plan has largely succeeded, and we are left right at the end with Casey back at TVA has tracked Renslayer's Tempad, basically tracked the Tempad, and they've got to go and find Remslayer.
What I think in terms of the jig is up with General Docs in terms of the fact that all these secret mission of getting rid of the sacred time, getting rid of the branched timelines, I felt like it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. I feel like they probably had in the bag maybe a couple of episodes or an episode or two, or episode and a half of Loki and Sylvie having more of a confrontation with Docs and Brad as well about trying to get rid of these branch timelines, because it felt like that bit where that kind of reveals in that that warehouse they just got all these branched doors that they're going through trying to get rid of these timelines and stuff. It just felt like that felt like it's a bigger thing, and obviously also being empathizing again. Oh, there was a character. Oh, name's escapes me, and it's not fair. I need to find that. Because I think the performances are very, very good. Oh my god, this is taking too long.
Doing the song was mad as looking up the webpage. Doing the song was mad, starts looking up celebrities. Doing the song to fill the gap in this monstrous podcast.
B15.
Ooh.
Hunter B15 talks about like you're killing people, you're killing people's lives, you're killing, when you're getting rid of these branch timelines, these are people, it's not just a line that you see on a screen, and all of that kind of realization kind of plays out, particularly with Hunter B15, but also all of the other characters and are in brackets, in quotation marks, heroes. But yeah, I feel like they should have played into that a little bit more, have more of a confrontation with Docs, flesh out Docs' role. And again, we get rid of Docs a little bit too early because we're just introduced to this role. And then all of a sudden, by the end of episode 2, she's out of the picture, really.
It's gone. That's it. It was very odd. Like that's it. I suppose it's the only kind of plot or character addition in this series. I'm a bit like, I feel like we could have got to the same point without introducing her and having this weird addition that didn't need to be there. So But it's good. We now jump on to episode 3, which is 1893. It's a big one, this one, because they travel to Chicago, 1868. You know, makes a lot of sense. So Miss Minutes, Renslayer travel to Chicago.
Or is it 1893? It's 1893.
1893 is the name of the title. It's titled of the episode, but they travel to 1868.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Because they then travelled to the fair in 1893.
Oh, of course, yeah, because that's got you. Yep.
So Renslayer and Miss Minutes drop it off to a young Victor Timely. Yes, and then we travel way to the future, 1893, Chicago World Fair, where Loki and Mobius arrive.
I just going back on the 1860 bit with Kang, young Kang, boy Kang, being given the plans and stuff. It felt like it was one of those moments as well where it was like, this is timey-wimey. This is one of those big things that we have to do, and seeing them plant that. And again, it just kind of fills those kind of gaps, because if they didn't do that, we wouldn't have the Kangs that we've got. And obviously that's what obviously happens later on. But like, I think what's important is that we kind of again notice the impact of past repercussions. If you implement something of high importance like that, and giving the book and giving the plans to Kang, we will see then this get played out. Miss Minutes. Can we talk about Miss Minutes in that moment?
We damn can.
Villainous Miss Minutes. Cheeky Miss Minutes. See, she is, I want to say a role that I don't, people do like her, and people do think, and I've heard lots of comments of nothing but positivity around Miss Minutes, but I don't know. I don't know if it's the animation or it's the writing of the character. I don't think the performance is bad. I think the Miss Minutes who plays, the Southern Belle kind of version, I think it's great. But I the kind of character kind of just gets in the way a bit, and kind of like I think undermines Renslayer.
Oh.
It's just a thought. It's not. Really? I'll leave that out there. Yeah, I feel like
in this whole episode, or just the first scene?
I think the whole episode, and
my god! I was literally going to say that Miss Minutes is my favourite part of this episode, and now you've just
I feel like that should have been Renslayer's bit.
No, man, this is Miss Minutes' time to shine.
I think we've followed. I think Miss Minutes could turn bad. That's absolutely fine. But I feel like the inclusion of the, you the person that created me, I love you, blah, 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 this whole kind of like obsession over He Who Remains and Kang should have come from Renslayer.
No. It made it so much more impactful when it was Miss Minutes. Yeah, Renslayer, this is my expression if it would have been Renslayer. Oh.
What is
Whereas
Renslayer
Miss Minutes, oh my god, you devious, seductive clock. Oh. Oh, babe, put the number 6 away.
I'll do some daylight savings for you.
Put me forward, put me backwards. I'm yours.
Oh my god.
Yes, yeah, lovely, yeah.
Good. So you're attracted to a clock. Good to know.
I enjoyed it. I was had a whale of a time. Yes, actually, but that would be good. That's a good poll scenario. This is good real material. What do you think? Do you think that it was good that Miss Minutes was the one who fancied the pants of a Victor Timely, or should it be Renslayer all along?
But I haven't explained myself enough there. We've said that. Right. I know it's going to be resounding on Miss Minutes there.
All right, explain yourself.
I don't think that's fair. I'm going to throw my toys out of my buggy. Okay, right. So, Renslayer, we have learned about Renslayer's character since day dot of Loki Series 1, right? So, and also, we don't have a true antagonist in this show. We don't have, like, a big villain until Kang turns up towards the end. He remains till the end, right? I know, all right. And you're about to go, oh, what Kang? All right, till later. However, I think Renslayer serves as the I don't know what to believe because I've believed nothing but this my whole life. And I think this was an opportunity for us to see a little bit more about the connection between her and Kang. And I think parts of what they put onto Miss Minutes in terms of her backstory, Miss Minutes, should have gone into Renslayer to then add to that complication. Whether it was a romantic relationship that they both had with each other and now it's kind of convoluted, she doesn't know who to serve, she realises the truth of what He Who Remains is doing in terms of protecting the sacred timeline. Not exactly ethical, let's be honest. It I think gives a little bit more for the character, but I think Renslayer gets a little bit lost in the shuffle, mate, in this series. It's a shame.
I don't think she is priority within the series. But I also I suppose my comeback would be that I think we had Renslayer's time in the first series, and the whole point was to understand this series as to why, the last episode of the first one kind of really leaned in on Miss Minutes being a part of this duo, about this dynamic, right? She was at the end of the world with He Who Remains and all that stuff. So I for me, it kind of for the overarching plot, it kind of worked for me that we'd moved away from Renslayer and we're kind of gaining this like more insight into Miss Minutes. I'm intrigued. I like your argument. I like your counter argument. You know, I can like your counter argument even if it's wrong. There
was a couple of things with this episode that I'd like to kind of like highlight what I really enjoyed. In terms of the beginning of episode 3, I really enjoyed the janky piano that was playing in the intro for the MCU. Again, really nice touch. Kind of brings you straight into the kind of feeling of where we're going in. But also, there's really a big thing that I think we're going to see paid off at some point. Where we see Mobius and Loki look at a Nordic kind of like front statue, effectively, where we see Thor, we see Odin, but we also see Balder the Brave, who was rumoured at one point to be played by Daniel Craig, who kept very stum about the whole thing. He almost denied it as well in an interview. But I think we're very, very likely to see Balder the Brave show up in Thor 5. Thor 5 or 6? What is it now? I can't remember now. 5. To sort of sort out the whole Hercules situation. But also, it'll be really nice to see a new, bloodline member of Odin. And not, we had Hela. Let's see a new brother, of Balder the Brave come through, who could be actually almost a really good guardian as well, I would say.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, I'm definitely on board with that. That would be lovely. So we get a bit of a chase sequence, really, for this episode. It's like everyone's kind of after Victor Timely, whether it's Renslayer, whether it's Miss Minutes, rather, whether it's Loki and Mobius, or whether it's the robber Baron, who has been fobbed off by Timely. And then we don't. I think overall in this episode we don't really get much in the way of different scenes. They're all quite long scenes in this episode. As soon as we meet Victor Timely, although maybe that's intentional. When we meet Victor Timely, things slow down somewhat for the series. We've been quite bouncy about with different scenes, different sets, different places, and then we meet Victor Timely and we stay in the same place for a remarkably long time.
We do.
It's a very crafty thing the writers have done there. But yeah, we stay there. We have these long scenes. I think it's a good payoff, bearing in mind we've been waiting for Victor Timely to show up and see this variant of Kang. So it does work. It lends itself to that. And then ultimately, Renslayer and Miss Minutes go to the end of time. At a Citadel at the end of time, rather, where Miss Minutes reveals that she knows a secret about Renslayer, and then the episode ends. So much promise.
But yeah, it ends with Renslayer being kicked into the ruins. More importantly, as well, the ruins of He Who Remains, with a decomposing Kang in front of her as well. Which is again kind of alludes to something, and it did actually. It was quite. I remember when we first watched it, it was quite a big deal. But again, just prior to that, obviously we had that big kind of confrontation with Sylvie as well, coming in, trying to kind of like again being conflicted about whether she needs to kill him. She's coming here to kill Kang, but we're like, this isn't Kang. They're clearly not Kang. Look at him. And again, I think Jonathan Majors does a good performance here, but. It throws in another complex situation for Sylvie to not really go, what am I supposed to do? But yeah, it leaves everything quite in high stakes, mate. It really does, and it moves. What I love about it, because that's what you want for your episode 3. If you're doing a 6-part, series episode series like this, you need to make sure that the middle at the end here is leaving on a real big cliffhanger, okay? Which is what we see. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what, again, to kind of like review 4, 5, and 6. But yeah, it's mate, best performance out of those 3 episodes. What for you? I know you mentioned Miss Minutes. Is that the one?
No, best performance OB for sure.
Yeah. Don't get a lot of OB in those first 3 episodes though.
You get a lot. Yeah, maybe not episode 3 you don't, but yeah, I really like OB. I've got a lot of and I think what I like about the introduction of OB is you have a lot of questions. A good character reveal should be that you have a lot of questions you want answered about someone. There's a reason to be interested in a character if they've got questions that you don't quite know the answer of. So it's we don't really know why Obi knows what he knows. We don't really know why he's got such an interest in all of this. And we get some answers later on. But yeah, I think OB, and then obviously sexy Miss Minutes. What about for you?
Oh, it's got to be, because we haven't spoken about this character yet. In episode 3, we have a wonderful confrontation with Loki and a certain character called Behemoth, who is played by Alex Foreman, who will be in our Friday episode this week. We had a wonderful interview with Alex, talking about his time on Loki, talking about his time on set. Some really funny stories about Tom Hiddleston, and particularly there's one really funny story about Owen Wilson as well. Absolutely top bloke. So that episode is coming out on Friday, and yeah, I mean his performance in it is really, really great, and just his interaction as well gives exactly what the series needs in terms of that. I thought there was going to be like a full it would have been great to see if there was like a proper brawl that incurs in that moment. But yeah, Alex Foreman, he's a brilliant guy. Yeah. Episode coming on Friday.
Awesome interview. Really excited for it. Like Matt says, he reveals some absolutely incredible stories of his time. And yeah, he's got a wealth of. He's done loads and loads of work. So excited for that for Friday. But that ends our chapter so far with Loki series 2, episodes 1 to 3. What would you say your Don't Be a Hero review is?
Oh, right now this is a beautiful sharing pack of I'm gonna say if it existed, a giant sharing pack of flaming grilled McCoys.
Ooh, Lovely, lovely, lovely. For me, it would be if you could have a box of Pringles that had all of your favourite Pringle flavours in. A mix of Pringle flavours.
Oh, steady.
Because once I pop, I can't stop.
Tell that to Miss Minutes.
But we have not finished there, Matt, for this episode, because we have got something. I've been, for the last 54 minutes and 44 seconds, I've been so excited for what we're about to do. Today, Deadpool and Wolverine, the brand new trailer, got released to the world, and me and Matt have not seen it.
I'm chomping at the bit, mate. We've got to do this.
We have not seen it at all. What are we going to do? Are we going to share the screen and watch it together? Or are we gonna...
I think so.
Okay.
Can you get it on yours?
We're gonna pause here. We're gonna have our little break here, and on the other side, we would have watched it.
Love
so
that.
You will hear our thoughts after the break. Oh my God. Yes. Loving it. So, I've got a couple of things. So, straight away, they used... So, I don't know if you saw the very first teaser for Insomniac's Wolverine game.
Insomniacs?
So,
no.
Insomniac... So, the developers who made Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they're making a Wolverine game.
Oh, yeah.
The very first teaser is Wolverine at the bar.
Oh, and that's what that is. Right.
And their first bit of this trailer is that, which is just like, oh.
That's interesting.
So we're going to, I don't know what that alludes to, but it excites me. Me.
I mean, dear listener, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. But so we're going to spoil it. So just go and watch it now before you listen to this. But mate, I saw Ant-Man's giant head. I saw some flipping Doctor Strange circles there at the end there as well. Really funny. Kevin Feige, knows about the cocaine. Yeah. Oh.
We got X-Men, talked about X-Men. We also, and I thought this would be the first thing you picked up on. I didn't even see your face move when it was said. The guy from Succession, who played Tom in Succession, he says this Wolverine, or something about this version of Wolverine.
Ruined, let the world down.
This version. And now I'm thinking of the sweet, sweet Daniel Radcliffe version you're also going to get.
Oh.
Because if this version... So why specify this version if that doesn't immediately prelude?
So we're definitely seeing another Wolverine.
Oh, 100%. Because why would you... You're not going to You wouldn't say that, would you? This version of Wolverine. You'd say Wolverine... and let everybody down. You wouldn't say this version of.
Oh my God! Right. So, dear listener, tell us. Let us know your comments right now. Do you think we're going to see a different version of a Wolverine that let down his world?
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm pumped. July can't come sooner.
So pumped, and again, like a lot of that trailer, I said it with the first trailer. A lot of that trailer is evidently made from the first half an hour of the movie. There is so much of this movie they're keeping under wraps, and I'm so excited by that.
So good,
it's
good.
It's amazing.
They're not revealing enough too much as well. That is definitely all we need to see. Let's keep it under wraps. keep all that kind of like hearsay. This is what we think is going to happen. Here, don't leak it, people. Just wait. Let's just wait together as a community. Let's just wait and watch it and be joyous when it comes out. Because I think this has got the potential of being special.
I almost hope it's they don't release another trailer. To be honest, I'd be happy with that. We've got a Wolverine and Deadpool trailer, and we've got a Deadpool trailer. Job done. We know we're all going to see it. So what's the point? Let's not have loads of extra moments. Also, right? Don't you think we are now in territory? So you said about like leaks and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Surely we are not a world away from a big enough studio like Marvel, right, to turn around like, and if this did get leaked, pray that it doesn't, but like, and I'm on about like full leakage, right? Whether that's loads of details emerge or whether some idiot like gets access to a copy and it gets uploaded, right? What now? Surely we're getting to territory where they will just go, right, all right, well, you're not going to get a cinema version and it's going straight to stream for 10 quid tomorrow. That's what I should do. Because actually, most people will be gutted you're not getting a cinema version, but they're still going to get money nonetheless because people will buy it on stream.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's almost getting to the point where, you know, these film companies need to find a way to go, right, you know, if you fuck it up for everybody. Stop these leakers. Let's ruin these people.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah,
mate. But that's so exciting.
Can't wait.
I think I'm with you on that. We don't need to see too much more. If we do, and we were probably going to get a final trailer, and there'll probably be one more. And I don't think we'll get that much. But we did get Dogpool there. We saw Dogpool, so that's great. I think there might be another certain pool. I think revealed as well.
Little Blake Lively wifey pool.
I think so, mate. I think so.
Oh yeah. I mean, and in my mind, the only reason why they've done that is so that that them two can be as risque as they can be.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%. Ryan has turned around and gone, look, we can make this as salty as you want, as long as it's my actual wife.
Not what we think is going to happen. It's what we want to happen.
Mate, it is knowing them two. It is. They're either gonna set that up and then nothing happens, and he's gonna take the piss out of it in a film or not. Reason why I'm looking to my side is Sophie is presenting Peggy, and by that she's picked Peggy up and come into the Peggy
Pool. Peggy Pool.
Oh, Peggy's meowing a lot, apparently.
Oh, bless her.
Is she all right?
It's because she knows about the Deadpool trailer.
She misses me. She knows about the Deadpool trailer.
That's what she knows.
Yeah, she does.
She knows it's happening. Here she comes. Right, well, why don't you go give us some TLC, Forrest?
Oh, I'll go and say hello to my cat.
Go on.
And I'll also say hello to Peggy.
Oh my god. Lower the tone.
Brave.
Sorry, it's
Brave.
Sophie can't hear this, but Forrest has been raunchy as hell today.
Mate, you miss minutes, mate. Miss minutes. Woohoo! On under the collar. Good night.
She's done. Well, okay, dear listeners, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Forrest, my man. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Next week, we've got 4, 5, and 6 on Loki Series 2. But not forgetting, Friday, we've got an interview episode with Alex Foreman.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Peggy.
Wow,
So I literally eyeballing the camera.
No. Oh.
Brilliant.
And on that note, I'll see you later. Good night.
I love you, mate. Bye, everyone.